This is a nightmare. This is a mother's nightmare. My grandbaby's fighting for her life. It's just sad. I just hope everybody takes heed to what happened to my child and protects your babies with all you have, because it's real.
This is the story of Leneesha Columbus, a 27-year-old mother who was fatally shot by her boyfriend Zachary Robinson, age 27, on July 5, 2020, in Minneapolis while she was pregnant.
She was found shot in South Minneapolis last night on Elliott and 37th.
Leneesha's was rushed to the hospital where the 5-month-old baby was saved, but after being on life support for a month, the baby eventually died. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
A Minneapolis family is devastated after a pregnant woman was shot and left for dead. Her baby survived the shooting and is at HCMC.
This story will be taking us to Minneapolis, Minnesota. The city is located in central east of Minnesota on both banks of the Mississippi River, north of the site where the Minnesota River joins the Mississippi. Minneapolis is famous for its chain of lakes, the Mississippi River, hockey, and as the hometown of Prince, the famous musician. Leneesha Columbus was born on September 9, 1992, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She was the daughter of Helen and Leroy Columbus. She had 2 brothers, Leroy Jr. and Lee, and a sister, LaShonda. She grew up in a loving and supportive family that encouraged her to pursue her passions and talents. Leneesha was interested in music and entertainment from a young age. She graduated from Patrick Henry High School in 2010, where she was a member of the choir and the dance team. She then attended Minneapolis Community and Technical College, where she studied business administration. She graduated with honors in 2014. Leneesha had aspirations of becoming a model and a publicist for a local music company called Doggy Entertainment. She was involved in various events and projects related to the music industry, such as concerts, festivals, and photo shoots. She also volunteered at local schools, churches, and shelters. Leneesha was a loving mother who adored her 2 children, Levante King Jason Jones, 4, and Leneesha Helen Columbus Jr., who was born after her death. She had her first child with her ex-boyfriend, who later died in a car accident. She had her second child with her boyfriend, Zachary Robinson. She wanted to give her children the best life possible and teach them everything she knew. Leneesha met Zachary Robinson through a mutual friend. Robinson was a 27-year-old rapper who went by the stage name Rob Tone.
Purchase your tracks today.
I'm in the studio. This shit happened that time. This shit happened that time.
He was also a felon who had been convicted of robbery, assault, and drug possession.
What's up, man? Getting ready for court, fool. But no, though. Just talked to my lawyer. She just called me. Don't say the state got a offer for me. Talking about since I already got felony points from 8 years ago. I caught a new charge in 8 years. Since I was 16, 24. I ain't been in you crackers face in 8 years. My shit long though. But no though. Don't say state come with a deal. 16 months. I was 16, I do 10 and a half. But the most they could give me is 28. Either from 21 to 28. But since they came with a deal, they trying to offer me 16. Don't show up to court, walk. First of all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, free K. But no, though, like if I walk if the people don't show up. Bitch, I just got through from doing 5 years flat. Bitch, I ain't never finna go back for it. They say 16, 28. Like y'all gonna have to. I'm coming to the door. I'm going to trial, and y'all crack gonna have to hang me, point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got some going on. I got gotta do in December. I got some gotta do in April. You know what I'm saying? My baby boy born in December. First of all, that's my first boy. You think I'm finna let y'all crackers just take me away? I'm just gonna surrender myself? I'm out on bond. You know what I'm saying? That mean I want to be out. If I'm bonding out, right? What you mean? Y'all think I'm finna plead guilty today and y'all niggas finna just put me in some shackles? Hell no. I ain't pleading guilty. Y'all gonna have to kill me before I go back in that on from them grave. I need my pig though. Y'all ask, and on gang, if look fishy when I go back to court next time for my trial date, if it look like I ain't gonna win, on phone them grave, I ain't showing up to trial. Y'all gonna have to bank me. You know what I'm saying? And give me what y'all gonna give me. Crackers got me combing my hair. I don't even comb my hair.
He had a history of domestic violence and had been arrested several times for abusing Leneesha Columbus. He was also involved in a gang feud that resulted in several shootings in Minneapolis. He said that he loved Leneesha and that he wanted to marry her. Leneesha fell in love with him and hoped that he was the one who would make her happy and support her dreams. However, soon after they started dating, Zachary showed his true colors. He became abusive and controlling towards Leneesha. He isolated her from her loved ones and tried to manipulate her with money and gifts. Leneesha tried to leave Zachary several times, but he always threatened to harm her or himself if she did. On July 5, 2020, Leneesha went to a gas station at 38th Street and Chicago Avenue in Minneapolis with Zachary and her son. She was 5 months pregnant with Zachary's child. Zachary got into an argument with Leneesha near her SUV before the shooting. He suddenly got angry and pulled out his gun and shot Leneesha as she started driving away. He then shot another man on the right foot in the parking spot when he asked Zachary about what he was doing. Zachary then drove to the intersection of 37th Street and Elliott Avenue, where he flagged down a police officer and asked for help. The officer called for an ambulance and tried to save Leneesha, but it was too late. Leneesha was pronounced dead at the hospital, but the baby was successfully delivered by the doctors. The police arrived shortly after the shooting and cordoned off the area, which was the site where George Floyd, an African-American man, was murdered by a police officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota, on May 25, 2020. His death sparked protests against police brutality and racism across the United States and around the world. The site has become a memorial for Floyd. The police have faced some resistance and interference from some community members while responding to calls in that area.
A Minneapolis family is devastated after a pregnant woman was shot and left for dead. Her baby survived the shooting and is at HCMC. Leneesha Columbus was a mother of two, still carrying her third child. She was found shot in South Minneapolis last night on Elliott and 37th. WCCO's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield spoke exclusively with the victim's mother, who calls the loss of her daughter unfathomable.
24 hours ago, what was a simple stop sign is now a place of complex grief.
She was so loving, so loving.
One of Leneesha Columbus's closest friends and her daughter marveled at the fresh memorial.
I don't understand why a person would take her life. I don't.
And it is so hard to understand. Officers got the call to Elliott and 37th around 9:15 Sunday night. Tamara Allswager was there before that. She says Leneesha was on the ground.
Like an elderly woman was pressing on her chest the whole time. Someone else was giving her CPR the whole time. And just seeing that this woman was not moving, it's just sad. I don't know what happened, but it's just really sad that this occurred.
This was the scene right after Leneesha was taken to the hospital. And just before Leneesha died, at 5 months pregnant, her baby was delivered.
This is a nightmare. This is a mother's nightmare.
Leneesha's mother described her as a lovable mother to a 5- and 1-year-old and a baby she will never meet. Police say they're looking into different motives, but Leneesha's mom believes it was domestic violence that has stolen their family's peace.
My grandbaby's fighting for her life. It's just sad. I just hope everybody takes heed to what happened to my child and protects your babies with all you have, because it's real.
Minneapolis police say late today they connected the shooting of Leneesha to another crime. Another man came into HCMC last night with a minor gunshot wound, and they are figuring out the exact link, but they believe the cases are connected.
There was a second victim that walked into HCMC about the same time. Investigators tell me that shooting is linked somehow to this case. It's unknown at this point, and they're investigating to determine what that link is.
Police say responding to the area around 38th in Chicago has been somewhat of a challenge.
We're being mindful of the fact that police presence isn't necessarily wanted in the area. We have experienced calls where there's been significant resistance from officers responding.
They collected evidence and interviewed witnesses. According to some of the witnesses, the shooting happened at the end of a weekend celebrating the 4th of July in Minneapolis. The police also reviewed the surveillance footage from the gas station and nearby businesses. They were able to identify the shooter as Zachary and arrested him. He was charged with second-degree murder, second-degree assault, and being a felon in possession of a gun. The police also searched Zachary's car and found several items of interest, such as a cell phone, a laptop, and a diary. They also contacted Leneesha's family and informed them of Zachary's involvement in Leneesha's death. They said that they were sorry for their loss and that they would do everything they could to bring justice for Leneesha. They said that they had evidence that Robinson had been abusive and controlling towards Leneesha. The police also contacted the media and released a statement about the case. They said that they had arrested Zachary for the shooting and charged him with second-degree murder and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. They said that they were still investigating the case and looking for any possible accomplices or motives. The police also asked the public to come forward with any information or tips about the case. On July 6, 2020, Zachary appeared in court for his arraignment. He said nothing as a judge read his charges and denied him bond. He was assigned a public defender, who did not comment on his behalf. He pleaded not guilty to his charges and requested a jury trial. On August 10, 2020, Zachary appeared in court for his trial. He was represented by his public defender, who argued that he acted in self-defense and that he was provoked by Leneesha. The prosecution was represented by the state attorney, who argued that Zachary acted with premeditation and malice. He presented some witnesses who testified that Zachary had shot Leneesha without any warning or reason. He also presented some evidence that showed that Zachary had a history of violence and drug dealing. The jury deliberated for 3 hours before reaching a verdict. They found Zachary guilty of second-degree murder and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. They recommended a sentence of life in prison without parole. On August 15, 2020, Zachary appeared in court for his sentencing. He said nothing as the judge read his sentence and ordered him to 50 years of life behind bars. He showed no emotion or remorse as he was escorted out of the courtroom. He also pleaded guilty to a second-degree assault charge originating from an unrelated incident in December 2019 when he shot a man outside Augie's nightclub in downtown Minneapolis. He received 4 years and 3 months additionally, which will be served concurrently with the murder case. The case has sparked outrage and sadness among the public, especially on social media. Many people have expressed their condolences to Leneesha's family and friends and condemned the violence that took her life. Leneesha's family was devastated by the news and expressed their grief and anger. They said that Leneesha was a good person who did not deserve to die. They also said that she loved her children and wanted to be a good mother. Her mother, Liddell Turnipseed, believed that domestic violence was the reason why her daughter's life was cut short. Leneesha's children were traumatized by the incident and are receiving counseling and support from their relatives. They said that they miss their mother and that they want to make her proud. They said that they want to follow in their mother's footsteps and become successful in life. Leneesha's uncle, Charles Dillian, released this statement saying that the horrendous killing and cowardly act was an example of the pandemic of domestic violence and violence against women. He said that his niece was a beautiful creative soul and she deserved to live. He also confirmed that the baby is doing okay. Leneesha's friends were shocked and saddened by the incident and remembered her as a kind and generous person who had a passion for music and entertainment. They said that she was always smiling and positive and that she inspired them with her ambition and talent. They said that they would honor her legacy and keep her memory alive. After a few weeks in the hospital, the 5-month-old baby eventually passed away. Our deepest condolence to the family of Leneesha Columbus. May her soul continue to rest in peace.